the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening and welcome back. Once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Back on track here tonight. Velocity Online Racing IndyCar League hits the Milwaukee Mile for the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis. Arcis Racing, friendly, open-armed, community-based over on Assetto Corsa. If you're a casual racer or newcomer over there to Assetto Corsa, reach on out to Arcis Racing. You can find the link down in the description right there. Head on over and check those guys out. Big time shout out for them for stepping aboard and sponsoring tonight's events here at the Milwaukee Mile. How you doing? How you feeling out there, race fans in TV land? Glad you could all join us here tonight. Darkside Dave from the cave, bringing you all the calls once again. And this is going to be a little bit different from the tracks we have been to so far, as it looks like Isaac Morris taking the top spot there in the final few seconds of happy hour. Drivers already switching over, getting ready to put down some fast times here in this 10-minute qualifying session. Looks like Dakota DeMate out there on his up-to-speed laps, as well as Isaac Morris. John Christensen, Tyler Coogan also out on track. I tell you what, let's jump out there now with Isaac Morris. There you can see him coming off of pit road, getting up to speed down the backstretch into turn 3 to start his up-to-speed lap. DeMage on the track as well. Lewis Woodall, one of those special 6 drivers, having to qualify, race his way into being able to even race here tonight. So a big-time shout-out, tip of the cap right there already to Woodall, getting the job done just to make the race here tonight. We'll see how he goes here in qualifying, keeping our eye on him, keeping our eye on the speed charts out there. I tell you what, let's go ahead and jump to some of your... Oh, and it looks like a driver just gonna come to pit road. Very interesting. Dakota DeMate out there, top of the speed charts right now, 22.75 for DeMate. Tyler Coogan slotted in the second spot. John Christensen in third. Christensen getting dropped back now to fourth as Lewis Woodall puts down his time lap. Woodall gonna go third on the speed charts, 22.97. Top of the board right now belongs to that 82 machine. Quick time, 22.88. That's gonna get taken away. Gavin Sanders gonna take that top spot, the 90, with a quick time of a 22.51. Let's see, Oscar Houston out there. Matt Houston on track. Oscar Gonzalez looked to jump in his car for just a minute. See what that race-averse driver can do. Houston goes third on the speed charts. Gonna bring his machine to a crawl. We'll jump out there now. Take a look at Julian Altona as he's on his up-to-speed lap. And we got tires, random tires on the track. That's a pretty interesting one. Haven't seen that one before. Christian Alacio also one of those special 6 drivers. He's on his qualifying attempts. Altona gonna go third on the speed charts. Nobody has anything for your pole sitter right now. 22.51 from Sanders. Victor Santos now on his up-to-speed lap, so we'll take a look back here with that 20 of a Santos rookie driver here in Velocity on the Line Racing. Very quick laps here, sub 25 second laps here, so the time going to tick off very quickly. A lot of drivers slotted in here tonight. Looks like we've got about 25, 26 drivers out here tonight trying to vie for a spot here in the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis. Santos not having the best time lap right there. Looks like he's going to fall short of the top 10, fall short of that top 15 as well. Anthony Concha, Thomas Gessler, Christopher Kresge, Craig Forsyth, Michael Jeffries, and Tony Patty yet to put in a time lap here tonight. 19 drivers already on the speed charts. Gavin Sanders, quick time, 22.51. Gessler going to jump out on track. We'll follow him around this 1 mile raceway. Let's see what Gessler can do here. You can hear Gessler getting through those gears, downshifting through the corners. Haven't heard a lot of that out of the other drivers. Maybe just a little different strategy here as Gessler makes his way back off of turn number 4, coming to the stripe to put down his first time lap. Where's it going to shake out? Gessler going to move 16th with that first time lap. He's well behind the pace. About 7/10 off of your pole sitter right now. Gavin Sanders still sitting up there with a 22:51. Doesn't look like anybody's going to have anything for him. Gessler going to jump through the speed charts up to 12th. Craig Forsyth also out there on track. We'll jump back here with Forsyth as he's on his second time lap. Where will Forsyth slot in? 27 machine going to go 17th on the speed charts, and nobody else out there on track. So we'll jump back just again, run down a little bit of your official business. As you see, just at the 6-minute mark here in this 10-minute qualifying session, only 4 drivers yet to put in their qualifying attempts. Anthony Concha, Christopher Kresge, Michael Jeffries, and Tony Patty. We'll keep our eye on the track. We'll keep our eye on the speedway. Make sure nobody sneaks in a time lap, but we'll run down your championship standings coming into tonight's round number 5 here in season number 3 for the Velocity Online Racing. Sitting on top of your points standings, there you can see Isaac Morris right there, 140 points for him. Luis Gonzalez Nunez sitting back in the second spot. Dakota May from that Raceverse Racing team right there in that third spot. Great run by him. Nick DeGroot showing strong in the fourth spot. Matt Houston, strong runs out of Houston here lately, rounding out your top 5. Julian Altena, after a string of some good runs, has slowly clawed his way back into a fighting spot for a top 3 in the point standings here, right there battling even with Houston coming into tonight's racing. Last week's race winner, Alex Van de Sande, right there in the 17 machine, 8th in the point standings after a good points week last week. Doesn't look like anybody's tried to sneak out there on track. So with about 3 minutes remaining here in qualifying, looks like we're going to step away, pay a few bills, cut to a quick commercial break, head back trackside for your national anthem. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back.
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Backtrack side as the field hits the starting grid. Things getting ready to get kicked off here tonight for the Milwaukee 150. Presented to you by Arcis. Gonna be one heck of a show. I can guarantee you that, race fans. Tonight, this field will set sail 150 laps around this 1 mile speedway. Your starting lineup: pole sitter inside row number 1, the 90 of Gavin Sanders. Just to his outside, the 15 of Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Julian Altena gonna start inside row number 2. Isaac Morris just to his outside. Last week's race winner Alex Van de Sande gonna line up in that 5th spot. Matt Houston right there in 6th. Inside row number 4, Dakota Damage and Dave Stedman. Row number 5 here tonight, Shane Coogan, followed by Tyler Coogan. Row number 6, the 12 of Oscar Fredrickson and the 18 of Thomas Gessler. Row number 7, Lewis Woodall and John Christensen. Gary Gonzo gonna slot in that 15th starting spot. Oscar Gonzalez just to his outside. We'll scroll through the rest of your starting lineup as the field gets ready to go green flag racing for the first time here tonight. Gonna be one heck of a show. I can guarantee you that, race fans. Get ready for that pace car to duck off this time by, and there you have it. There it goes, ready to go green flag racing as the field hits the gas pedal for the first time. Gavin Sanders into the corner. Well, looks like everybody up through the gears. No problem for anybody. No incident so far. Side-by-side racing action and caution. Caution comes out on lap number 1 out of turn number 2. We'll jump back, take a look, see what happened here very early. Trouble for John Christensen, it looks like. We'll take a look back here, see what happened with Christensen. There you see, looks just like a tag there. Looks like maybe Oscar Gonzalez got involved with that one. We'll take a look back here. There you can see, yes, indeed, there's the contact between Oscar Gonzalez and John Christensen. Around those two drivers go. Looks like one more driver caught up and involved in that one. Looks like it may be Michael Jeffries also involved in this crash. We'll take a look as Jeffries tries to slow down here. Tries to avoid the incident, but just not able to get on the binders hard enough. There you see the smoke all in front of Jeffries, but not able to slow up in time. A little bit of contact there. A few drivers having to reset the car, so we'll rejoin the race back once again live with your race leader at the front of the field, Gavin Sanders. Your pole sitter here tonight, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, still sitting in that 2nd spot. 3rd place, Isaac Morris. Julian Altena right there trying to knock his way into a podium spot very early here tonight, under caution for the first time here at Milwaukee Speedway. Gonna be quite a long night here. We'll take a look at the weather. There you see it off to the right-hand side of your screen. Looks like the track not not too friendly right now. 122-degree track temperature. That is a very hot, very slick track. Going to be pretty rough for these drivers to keep the mechanical grip from the aero. They're going to have to definitely be on the gearboxes here, definitely on the weight jackers and ARB, constantly tuning those cars over the course of the run, especially at a rough track like this. Milwaukee Mile is nothing to bat your eyes about. Very, very rough racetrack, very technical. You got to be on it here, got to have those braking points, got to be able to get on the brake and out of the brake, let it roll through the center and squeeze that throttle down, almost eggshell it. You can't really stab it here at Milwaukee. You get it pretty loose, pretty tail happy when you do. So it looks like both of those drivers in that first incident both slotted back behind the pit wall. So already Oscar Gonzalez and John Christensen both being shown behind the pit wall, losing multiple laps already. That's going to leave us with just 23 drivers left on the speedway, left on the lead lap. Your pole sitter will have control over this restart once we get the one to go. Oscar Gonzalez Nunez going to line up just to his outside. Isaac Morris right there in the third spot. Julian Altena in fourth, rounding out your top five here tonight as they run after a very early caution. That race verse driver, Matt Houston. Big shout out to Race First coming on, sponsoring a big time thing here in season number 3 for Velocity Online Racing. Race First putting up that $100 prize pool for your top 5 drivers in the point standings at the end of the season. So big shout out to Race First and everybody back out over there. Big shout out also to the league's very own Matt Houston for all the dedication and commitment to the league and the drivers. A lot of the things that have happened because of Houston. So a big time thank you and shout out from all the drivers to you, Matt, and continue doing all that you do. Field going to get ready to go back. Green flag racing, single file restart. Here's that Ford Mustang pace car gets ready to duck on off. We'll get ready to fire things back off here again for the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis. On the gas, away we go. Green flag flies as your race leader Gavin Sanders gets off to a good start. We'll jump a little further back through the field, give you a little bit more of the action on track. There you can see multiple drivers already snaking their way back to the front of the field. Shane Coogan right there trying to close in on Dakota DeMage. It looks like we've got more drivers mixing it up back here through the field. Christopher Kresge with a little bit of a moment there. Victor Santos had to jump to pit road. Something wrong with Santos's Dallara IR18. And caution! Caution flag flies once again. Christian Alejo caught up in this one. We'll take a look, see what happened with Christian. Over there you see, multiple crashes here. Multiple contact between drivers. Oh, my goodness. One more look at it. There you see the contact between Laisho and then more drivers up at the top of the track. Forsyth involved. Christopher Kresge. Michael Jeffries involved in this one as well. There you see Forsyth just breaking loose. Oh, and nowhere to go. Here comes, I believe that was Christopher Kresge piloting there. Nowhere to go. No, that was actually not Kresge. Oh, Kresge caught up from behind. Michael Jeffries involved. Oh, my goodness. Multiple drivers caught up in this one. So very early here, multiple drivers caught up in some incidents here. Pit road is a very busy place and not for a good reason right now. Multiple drivers crashing. Multiple drivers going to be falling off of the lead lap, and multiple drivers going to be scored out of tonight's race. Very early, 9 laps into tonight's 150 lap race here at the Milwaukee Mile for the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis Racing. Mainly based over there on the Assetto Corsa platform. You can go check them out. Link down in the description for their Discord. Look them up if you're over there on the Assetto Corsa platform, doing multiple different series, multiple different things over there. Endurance League as well as a Formula League, putting on multiple special events as well. So if you're just a casual racer or even just a rookie looking for some help, looking for some guidance and some coaching, head on over and check out Arcis Racing. Two very quick early cautions here tonight, and that has brought our 25 car field down to just a 17 car field on the track. Just 15 drivers already left on the lead lap, so we've already knocked 10 drivers off of the lead lap very early here tonight. So about a lap, a car a lap for the 10 laps so far. That is that's odds you don't want to be included in. As the drivers make their way around the track under caution, we'll go up to one of our Turn 3 drone cams here, introduced at the Milwaukee Mile for one of the first times here in this IndyCar League. Glad that the Velocity Online Racing officials and admins approved and allowed us to bring the drone out here tonight, try to capture some great overhead action for you here from the raceway. Not a lot has changed at the front of the field from the drop of the green flag, as it looks like the Ford Mustang pace car lights will go out this time by, and we will get set to fire things off once again here from the Milwaukee Mile in the Milwaukee 150, presented by Arcis. Your top two drivers still right where they were in qualifying. Isaac Morris able to make up one spot. Julian Altina gonna fall back one spot into the fourth position. He'll line up fourth car in this single file restart. Matt Houston right there still in the fifth spot. Alex Van de Sand right there in 6-7. Dakota Dimage, Shane Coogan, Tyler Coogan, and Dave Stedman round out your top 10 for this latest restart. Back up with your race leader as he sets the pace on that outside lane. Get ready for him to hit the gas and hit the gas fast. Pace car ready to make that left-hand turn once again. Third time it's made it tonight. Third time that your race leader pounds the gas. Good jump, good gap already as he slots across the line. Your top three with a bit of a breakaway. Julian Alton right there. Fresh on the gas, fresh on the heels. Can he close in the distance on Isaac Morris? Battles have been going on at the back of the field. That's where a lot of this action has happened on these restarts. We'll take a look, keep our eye on things back here. Everything looks clean and clear. Drivers battling for spots, but no contacts being made. We'll look right here as this is a hot and heavy battle. That is for 8th and 9th position. Tyler Coogan passing Shane Coogan now just in front. Matt Houston making up some spots on Dakota Dimage right there. That's 5th and 6th on track. And it looks like John Christensen may have had a little bit of an incident, but he's got to pit road. That's going to keep us clear on the raceway, and we'll stay green flag racing here as we begin lap number 14 out of the 150 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Looks like fast time on the track belongs to your pole sitter, your race leader, Gavin Sanders, with a 23:35 for the fastest lap of tonight's race. We'll jump back with this battle here towards the front of the field. Close little gaps here, just a few tenths separate your top three drivers. Go ahead and throw Altina in that mix, just 3 tenths back from Morris. Small gaps beginning to develop between these drivers, but still all these drivers within striking distance of the driver just in front of them. We'll jump back here on board now with drivers sitting in that one machine. Julian Altina, I tell you what, let's go down with that overhead cam running with that one of Altina. There you can see just over Altina, just over that halo. Big time shout out to that one crew for allowing us to put this onboard camera here tonight for the Milwaukee 150 as Altina continues to try to track down Isaac Morris, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, and Gavin Sanders just behind Altina. Two of those race-averse team drivers, Matt Houston, Dakota Dimage, sitting right there 5th and 6th. Altena up the track on entry that last time by. That was pretty close to that outside wall. Flirting with disaster just a little bit here early in the race. Lap number 18 now underway out of the 150 scheduled in the official race distance. Yes, indeed, folks. We do have one attempt at a green-white checkered should we need it. Battle on track, though, between your second and third place driver, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, trying to keep Isaac Morris at bay. There's the battle box right there for you on screen. Sanders out to a 1.3 second race lead, and Morris looks to the inside of Gonzalez. Almost contact between those two drivers. Morris gonna back out just a little bit. Reset now, looks to the bottom once again. Nope, gonna fall in line through the center of 3 and 4. He'll have to use the slipstream down the front stretch, not closing the gap though, as Gonzalez Nunez continues to lead or continue to keep that second spot lead. Morris back off of turn number 2, looking to strike once again. Not going to happen. Altena begins to close now as Houston starts to reel in Altena. There you go, looking to the inside once again is Morris down into turn number 1, side by side with Nunez. Nunez up the track, losing some ground, losing some time. Battle still going on. Drag race down the backstretch into turn number 3. Nunez into the wall. That's going to break his tire, or at least it looked like his tire was broke on the screen there for a second. Now looks like it's still attached, but some damage after some contact with that outside wall before his entry to turn number 3. That's going to go ahead and give that second spot to Isaac Morris as Julian Altena. Now he looks to pounce. He'll look to the bottom, going down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Going to have the spot. Oh, and contact between Altena and Gonzalez. Nunez brings out our latest caution. We seen it right there on screen, race fans. I tell you what, we'll go up high above with this caution flag. See how it all happened there. You see a little bit of net code. Gonzalez Nunez never actually touching Altena until Altena was already sideways. We'll take another look. There you see the contact. There you see that gap. There you see that space one more time. We'll see if we can't see it. There you see it once again. And that is a tough break for both of those drivers battling inside the top 5. And it looks like both of those drivers going to have to bring their machines to pit road for quite some time. If Altena can even bring it to pit road, no, he's going to have to call the tow truck. He'll be back behind pit wall for quite some time as we're under caution for the 3rd time here tonight as we work our way around the track on lap number 24 out of the 150 scheduled in the official race distance. There you see your race leader at the front of the field, your pole sitter. Gavin Sanders continues to lead here tonight. He'll have Isaac Morris just behind him. Matt Houston and Dakota DeMage now going to make up that 3rd and 4th spot, with Alex Van de Sant rounding out your top 5. And with that being said, under caution once again here tonight, 3rd caution of the evening. We're going to break away for just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
We rejoin the track after one lap of green flag racing back in the books. Looks like Dakota Dimage gonna lose a spot. We're gonna take that spot away from Matt Houston. That's the third and fourth spot. Battle for position right now between Dimage and Houston. Houston gonna slot back in that fourth spot. Your pole sitter, race leader Gavin Sanders continues to lead. Isaac Morris just off in front of these two drivers. There you can see Isaac Morris right there, just about 0.3 of a second off of your race leader. We'll move in a little closer to the action for you here tonight, trying to watch as much as we can on the restarts. We do have some battles out there on track. Alex Van de Sant right here. Here's a close battle. Van de Sant looking to take a spot away from Houston. Thomas Gessler just behind him. Shane Coogan and Tyler Coogan still battling it out amongst themselves. 7th and 8th spot on the track as they run right now. Nick DeGroot rounds out your top 10, and he's got Luis Gonzalez Nunez's heavily damaged machine just behind him, running in the 11th spot. And as the field makes their way around the track on lap number 30, we'll do a little bit of house cleaning here tonight. Looks like 25 drivers started tonight's race. We are down to 15 drivers left on the speedway. Just 13 drivers left on the lead lap. Tony Patty, big shout out to Patty right here, sitting in that 91 machine. Patty in the 13th spot. Started tail end of the field. Shotgun Sally here tonight. Patty also one of those special 6 drivers having to race his way even to get to race tonight. And he is capitalizing on his chance, capitalizing on his opportunity. Patty running 13th on the speedway. Back at the battle inside the top 5 from about 4th all the way back through 7th or 8th. Dakota Dimage has Matt Houston, Alex Van de Sant with Thomas Gessler, Shane Coogan, Tyler Coogan, all right there gapped up with each other. 0.3 of a second separate each one of these drivers, so still within striking distance should one of these drivers overstep that breaking point on the entry. There you see Alex Van de Sant on screen closing the distance on a Houston as they make their way through 3 and 4 back across the stripe to begin lap number 34 here tonight in the Milwaukee 150, presented to you by Arcis. Back markers up the raceway, just trying to keep themselves out of the way of these lead lap drivers. Matt Houston still slotted in that 4th spot. Nothing changing at the front of the field. Gavin Sanders opening up the gap just a little bit more now, upwards of 1.5 second race advantage for Sanders over Morris. Morris with about a 1.5 second advantage over Dimage. Dimage sitting there just in front of Houston, right at the 0.8 separates those two drivers. So Dimage very close to breaking his way out of the slipstream, out of that pullback that Houston may be able to grab from him. Houston's got to worry about Van de Sant all over him. He's still right there hounding him. And I tell you what, why don't we go down on board for a lap or two with the driver running in that 5th and final top 5 spot. Let's jump on board now with Alex Van de Sant. You can see Van de Sant all the way down to 3rd gear into these corners, all the way back up to 5th. There you'll see him back down to 4th, back to 3rd. Driver coming off of pit road. That's one of those wounded machines. That's Anthony Concha rejoining the race way back in the 15th spot. The 64 has seen some better days, but still improved his starting position by 10 spots. So that's some race points that are going to be pretty valuable to Concha. He may be able to make his way up through the point standings just a little bit more. Sometimes you just got to soldier on and get all you can. Just like Alex Van de Sant right here, continuing to soldier on in that dirty air, upsetting the nose of that car, I am for sure. I tell you what, why don't we go down to one of our nose cams here. Big time shout out to Alex Van de Sant and that entire 17 crew, allowing us to not only put the cockpit camera on board here tonight at the Milwaukee 150, but also this nose camera bringing you a great shot right off the front end of that 17 Dallara IR18 being piloted by Alex Van de Sant. Down into turn number 3, there you see him closing in the distance once again, but not able to do much with it. That dirty air keeping Van de Sant at bay. This is the closest battle on the raceway, as it looks like most of the gaps have developed up into the 8/10 or larger distance. Shane Coogan still hounding Thomas Gessler just behind this battle on the track. There you're seeing just off in the background Thomas Gessler in that 6th spot. He's got Shane Coogan right behind him. There you see Coogan making his way off of turn number 4, then multiple gaps back. Luis Gonzalez Nunez sitting in the 11th spot, slowly clicking away on that gap to the driver in front of him. Driver sitting in that 10th and final top 10 spot. That's Dave Stedman in the 74 position. In the 74 car, back in the 10th spot, has lost a few spots from where he started tonight's race, but still running with a solid spot right now. Looks like we have got ourselves settled in just a little bit. Long green flag run now underway. Your top 7-8 drivers have yet to come to pit road, so the fuel strategy going to be very different for those drivers. Looks like Nick DeGroot sitting in the 9th spot. He's been to pit road twice so far here tonight. Last on to pit road on lap number 23 under our last caution, our 3rd caution of the evening. So DeGroot with a little bit more fuel here. Look to see him maybe stretch this thing, try to somehow leapfrog and gain some track position with an extended run here. We'll jump around the field, go back up here with your race leader Gavin Sanders, as the field well and clear in front of him, well and clear behind him. Nobody around right now to bother Sanders, so he continues his not necessarily Sunday drive, but still not very much to worry about. And we'll run down a little bit of your driver information here as we reach about a 1/3 of the way through tonight's race. Gavin Sanders, your race leader. There you can see him, the man on screen, piloting that 90 Dallara IR18. Isaac Morris sitting back in the 2nd spot. There you see that 21-year-old trying to pilot his machine up into a top spot. Morris has been one of those drivers that you have got to keep your eye on, because he has visited victory lane multiple times so far this season, already to victory lane 2 times out of the 4 races that we have put in the books. Driver sitting now in that 3rd spot, Dakota DeMage out of the Sunset Arctic Cat stable, doing a fine job out there tonight. The Indiana driver piloting that 82 machine right now in a podium spot. Good run forward. DeMage back in the 4th spot. There you can see Matt Houston from Indianapolis Team Race Verse right there. The 20-year-old Matt Houston, big time shout out to him and everybody back at Race Verse coming on the season this year, sponsoring your $100 prize pool for your top 5. So big shout out to Matt Houston for all the continued commitment to the league and the drivers. Big shout out to Race Verse as well. Now back to your driver sitting in that last top 5 spot. Another Indiana driver, the 20-year-old Alex Van de Sant. Just outside of your top 10, running in that 6th position, Thomas Gessler. We'll take a look at Gessler as he makes his way around the speedway. There you can see Gessler just in front of Shane Coogan. Coogan back running in that 7th spot. There you can find Coogan. Tyler Coogan slotted in the 8th position as well. Nick DeGroot right here in his 89 machine, the Florida driver, trying to keep himself up inside the top 10, and Dave Stedman right there. There you can see Dave Stedman rounding out your top 10. Little quick rundown through the field, rundown of the top 10. We'll jump back to the front of the field because we've got a 4-car battle. That's right. Dakota DeMage under fire from Matt Houston, Alex Van de Sant right there as well. Thomas Gessler closing in some distance, closing in some time. There you can see Gessler just behind Van de Sant, crossing that finish line this time by. Your race leader, though, has stepped away from the field, almost a 2-second advantage over Isaac Morris for your pole sitter. Your race leader dominating here tonight in the Milwaukee 150, presented by Arcis, Gavin Sanders. Battle heating up right here between these two drivers, Houston and Van de Sant, back and forth time and time again, lap after lap. Oh my goodness, big time moment there for Houston. Houston almost puts his Race Verse machine into that outside wall off of turn number 2. That was a very big time moment, very close moment for the driver sitting inside of that 66 machine in the 4th position. Van de Sant pushing hard, and caution has come out on the raceway. Looks like John Christensen may have had some issues. We'll take a look back here, see what happened. Don Christensen loose, trying to get to pit road, it looked like, and he's going to spin it, and hard impact with that outside wall, rear wing broken off. That is going to be a bad day for sure. We'll rejoin the race back at the front with your race leader dominating so far here tonight, leading the entire race, flag to flag so far for Sanders, your pole sitter, as he catches back up to that Ford Mustang pace car. Field will come to a crawl once again, and when will your race leaders hit pit road? Will it be this time by? No, staying out on track is your top 3 drivers, Dakota DeMage as well as Matt Houston. They're going to come to pit road. Shane Coogan, Tyler Coogan, Nick DeGroot, as well as Luis Gonzalez Nunez. All of those drivers on to pit road. Your top 5 drivers going to elect to stay out on track. That will be Gavin Sanders, your pole sitter, Isaac Morris, Alex Van de Sant, Thomas Gessler, and Dave Stedman, all staying out on the track under your latest caution. And as we do find ourselves under caution once again here from the Milwaukee Mile for the Milwaukee 150, presented to you by Arcis. Go on over there in the description. You can scroll on right down there. Click that link, Arcis Racing. Join the community that's friendly-based, rookie-based. If you're just a casual racer over there on the Assetto Corsa platform, go on over there and check Arcis Racing out, hosting multiple different platforms of racing over there on Assetto Corsa. Not just the Formula style cars and the endurance style cars, but also multiple special events. Head on over there. Click the link below down in the description, and you can find your way over to the Discord. Give them a holler, give them a shout. If you're over there on the Assetto Corsa platform, big time shout out to all those drivers, all those admins and officials over there with Arcis Racing coming out tonight to present the Milwaukee 150 here in Velocity Online Racing Season number 3, round number 5. With just a little under 100 laps remaining, Gavin Sanders has been the class of the field. He has been at the top of the speed charts the entire night, looking to dominate even further here tonight. And I tell you what, if you haven't already, go ahead and throw these drivers a thumbs up. Click subscribe and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side to get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether you're just casually stopping through or you are the dedicated friend, fan, or family. We appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. And these drivers sure appreciate each and every time you stop by. So go ahead and throw them as a thumbs up for all that they do. You can find them over here on the Turn 3 Racing Network YouTube channel, as well as out there on the Dark Side Dave Facebook channel, as well as the Turn 3 Network on Twitch. So head on over to all those platforms, hit these drivers up with some thumbs up, and we appreciate it each and every time. Ford Mustang pace car ready to duck off. Gavin Sanders going to go back to the gas. Green flag back in the air here at Milwaukee Mile. This is going to be one heck of a restart. There you see Sanders still on those older tires. Morris on older tires. Van de Sant now into that third spot. We've got drivers with old tires in your top 4 spots. And drivers with some very fresh tires. Going to be very quick, as it looks like Gesser going to be under fire from Dakota Dimash. Dimash right there trying to close the distance, trying to make his way a little further up through the field. Oh, big time moment there. Up the track goes Houston. Houston up the track. That's going to open up the inside for Coogan. Shane not going to look there just yet. He'll stay slotted in line with these drivers that have all come to pit road, and it looks like those fresher tires giving Matt Houston a fit. He'll jump to the high side once again, losing some ground on Dimash. Shane Coogan stays right behind him, giving Houston enough room to regain the car, gather the car up underneath him, and keep it headed in the right direction. It has been a very close battle right here, and very close a few times to Houston tossing that thing into that outside wall. Maybe those fresh tires just not agreeing with that 66 machine just yet. Right there, Dakota Dimash sitting in that 5th spot. He's the first driver on those fresh tires, back on lap 56, coming to pit road under our latest caution. Your top 4 drivers all staying out on track. Gavin Sanders, Isaac Morris, Alex Van de Sant, and Thomas Gessler all staying out on the raceway. And I wonder when those fresher tires are going to come into play. 56 lap difference on the tires. That has got to be enough to make these top 4 drivers a little bit wary, a little bit worried about their pit strategy, about the race call there to stay out on the track. But I believe most of them are banking on at least 1, possibly 2 more cautions to come here tonight at this 1 mile technical little track. You can see these drivers all over each other as Alex Van de Sant continues to try to make his way into the 2nd spot. Isaac Morris holding it down right now, but breathing down his neck all over him right now. Man, I tell you what, Van de Sant not playing around, as we'll go just to the outside of Isaac Morris's car. There you can see just over the driver's right side shoulder. Your race leader, Gavin Sanders, off in the distance. Back marker, I believe that is Gary Godso. He's going to get put down. 1 more lap here tonight. We'll jump back outside the car. There you can see Van de Sant still hounding your race leader, or 2nd place runner, Isaac Morris. More battles on track to be seen and be talked about. There you can see a battle for the 7th and 8th position on track. Shane Coogan, Tyler Coogan, they're battling for the 7th and 8th position. Luis Gonzalez Nunez not far off of them. He's got Nick DeGroot right there packed up with him as well. DeGroot looking for a spot. Dave Stedman now running in that 11th spot. First driver, last driver on the lead lap, sitting in that 11th spot. So drivers putting down a torrent pace after we had a rash of cautions very early here tonight. 3 cautions all within your first 25 laps, and that has put a lot of drivers back behind the pit wall out of tonight's race. A little bit of house cleaning for you as we inch closer to that halfway point here tonight in the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis. We started tonight with 25 drivers, and we have still got 16 out there on the raceway with just 11 drivers left on the lead lap. Dave Stedman, last driver on the lead lap, and Oscar Fredrickson going to be scored as the first driver off of the lead lap, running in that 12th spot. We'll jump now to a battle for the 8th and 9th position. That's between Luis Gonzalez Nunez and Tyler Coogan. The rookie Coogan stuck to the outside, now looks for a crossover, not going to be there, not going to have the momentum to get back and challenge Nunez to take that 8th spot back away. So we'll jump back up to this battle right there, just a little bit in front of those 2 drivers there. You can see Dakota DeMage, Matt Houston, and Shane Coogan still battling for the 5th, 6th, and 7th position on track. Isaac Morris has got Alex Van de Sant still breathing down his neck. That gap, half of a second separating your 2nd and 3rd place drivers right now as they run lap number 72 out of the 150 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. There you can see the battle once again. Coogan looking to the inside, but just cannot complete the pass. Houston way up the track. That's going to give Coogan the opportunity side by side. Once again, back now into turn number 1. Coogan on the bottom, Houston at the top. 1 car length separate those 2 drivers as they battle back off of turn number 2, still side by side. Given way. Finally, though, Houston prevails on that high side. And as those 2 drivers battled, that brought Luis Gonzalez Nunez right back up into the picture. Nunez now running in the 8th spot, but just 0.3 of a second off of the back end of Coogan. This is one of your closest battles on the track. It is basically a 4, almost 5 car battle. Matt Houston, Shane Coogan, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, and you can go ahead and toss Tyler Coogan into that mix as well. So 6th all the way back to 9th right now, all lined up on track. Those are your closest running competitors as we cross the line to reach the halfway mark here tonight from the Milwaukee Mile in the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis. We'll jump back up here with this battle as it continues to rage on as well. Alex Van de Sant continuing to try to run down Morris, not able to do anything with him just yet. So we'll see if we can't take a look over the shoulder there. You can see over the left-hand shoulder of Isaac Morris. Now a look back from his machine looking back at that 17 of Van de Sant as Van de Sant continues to try to chase him down. And I'm noticing on the timing and scoring, not as big of a breakaway for Gavin Sanders this time by. I wonder if this time with those older tires on this restart, if Sanders has just abused them a little bit too much in that last long green flag stint that we have had. I wonder if Gavin Sanders may have just given up a little bit of that time, and just as I say that, he begins to open that gap back up, now knocking on the door of a 2-second interval between himself and his closest competitor, man on screen right there in the 2nd spot, Isaac Morris, as Morris is still dealing with Van de Sant as they work their way back down the backstretch on lap number 79 out of the 150 scheduled in tonight's race distance and round number 5 for the Velocity Online Racing. Sanders going to come to pit road. He'll give up the race lead. Isaac Morris now controls the field. Van de Sant stays on track. Thomas Gessler also still staying on track. Those three drivers yet to hit pit road for the first time. Gavin Sanders just hitting pit road for the first time that time by, and it looks like Isaac Morris may be looking for that pit road entry on the brakes, getting it woed up. He gets to pit road. Van de Sant and Gessler going to stay out on track now. There you see Gavin Sanders going down a lap, being put one lap down from Alex Van de Sant staying on track. Thomas Gessler 3.3 seconds behind your race leader Van de Sant. When will he make his way to pit road? Will he come this time? No, gonna stay out on track and extend this run even further. How long will your race leader stay out on track, and will Thomas Gessler pit with him when he does come to pit road? Looks like staying out yet again is that 17 of Van de Sant, last week's race winner. So Van de Sant knows what he's doing as far as some calls, as far as some strategy. Can he go back-to-back race winning weekends here in Velocity Online Racing Season number 3? You are watching round number 5 here from the Milwaukee Mile, the Milwaukee 150, presented to you by Arcis. Thomas Gessler going to bring his machine to pit road, so only one driver left to make their first stop so far here tonight. Alex Van de Sant continues to stay out on the track now, looking to come to pit road. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle on the braking there, but he's going to get it stopped. No problem, no harm, no foul. Dakota Damage, he looks like he very well may inherit this race lead. And looking through all of the timing and scoring, trying to see what may have happened to Gavin Sanders. Sanders, well, back behind the field, and that's right, race fans, because Dakota Damage, Matt Houston, Shane Coogan, Luis Nunez, as well as Tyler Coogan, Nick DeGroot, they all were last on to pit road on lap 56. They have still got themselves quite a bit of fuel load that they can run on here. So look for this green flag run to be extended for quite some time. And Isaac Morris, Gavin Sanders, Alex Van de Sant back in the 8th, 9th, and 10th spot as they run. This could vote well for some of these drivers at the front of the field. Damage, if we get a caution now, I would believe most of the field would come back down pit road just to remain on the same strategy. And it could work. It could work. It absolutely could work if we get a caution here. That can change the game as we inch closer to the 60 lap to go mark, crossing the line that time by to start lap 88 out of the 150 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network for Velocity Online Racing round number 5 here tonight, the Milwaukee 150, presented to you by Arcis. Arcis Racing, looking for a great, friendly, welcoming league over there on Assetto Corsa. Check out Arcis Racing. You can find a link down in the description. Go ahead and scroll on down in that description. You can click it right there. Hook on up with those boys over there on their Discord channel. Multiple different series, multiple different cars being ran over there, special events being put on as well. Big time shout out to Arcis Racing coming on board here tonight and sponsoring tonight's Milwaukee 150. Closest battle on track now right here between Shane Coogan and Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Nunez involved in an earlier incident, but fortunately enough for Nunez, able to get that machine fixed up quite a bit and able to get back out there on track, salvage what he can, now sitting back in the 4th spot, just 2 spots back from where he started tonight's race in the 2nd spot. Nunez looking to capitalize on a few drivers' mistakes out there tonight, looking to try to gain all that he can by soldiering and persevering here tonight from Milwaukee Mile. Looks like Nunez sitting now in the 4th spot, looking down through timing and scoring. Thomas Gessler with some pit road issues and woes. Looks like he's going to slide back in the 11th spot, now being scored. The first car 1 lap down. Tony Petty, after a solid run, keeping himself on the lead lap for quite some time, now 2 laps down, running in that 12th spot. This is the closest battle for position on the raceway. Shane Coogan has that 3rd spot, but Luis Gonzalez Nunez continuing to hound him, continuing to try to put himself up into the podium positions here late in the going, closing in on the 100 lap mark here tonight in the Milwaukee 150, back off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Field gapped up all over this raceway, and soon to be 1 round of green flag pit stops underway, because I can assure you these drivers are gonna have to come to pit road quite soon. Looks like some of the drivers able to stretch it right around the 80 lap mark, so I wonder how far Dakota DeMage, Matt Houston, Shane Coogan, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, I wonder how far these drivers can stretch their fuel. It's going to be pretty close on whether or not they can make it on fuel. May all be a matter of fuel management here, as Dakota DeMage sitting at the front of the field, driver in that 82 machine. There you see him flashing by your screen. Back down into turns 3 and 4, still able to get it to the bottom of the track through the center of 3 and 4. Fires himself back off of turn number 4, back down the front stretch. Lap number 98 now underway, as DeMage has himself a 2-second race lead over this man right here, Matt Houston, running in that 2nd spot. Shane Coogan right behind him. 1.5 seconds separates Coogan from Houston, and Nunez all over Shane Coogan, and now going to make the pass, or maybe not. I thought that was Luis Gonzalez Nunez making that pass right there. That very well may be a lap down machine. Trying to look through the timing and scoring on who that may have been. Coogan still has that 3rd spot. Luis Gonzalez Nunez still trying to get up there and make that pass. Not able to do so just yet. Tyler Coogan sitting back in the 5th spot. Nick DeGroot sitting in 6 and 7 goes to Dave Stedman. Gavin Sanders in the 8th spot. 9th place goes to Isaac Morrison, rounding out your top 10. Formerly up inside a podium spot, Alex Van de Sant sitting last car on the lead lap, running in your 10th position. Multiple gaps all over the raceway here. Not much action to speak of except this battle right here on your screen. Shane Coogan still trying to keep Luis Nunez back behind him. Nunez still hounding him lap after lap after lap, not letting him get away. DeMage now has a 2.8 second advantage. Looking like he may be able to start working that fuel map a little bit. May be able to start turning things down a little bit. Possibly be able to extend his fuel run. Possibly be able to make it to the end on fuel. Driver stopping at about lap 56, 57. Very close on being able to make it to the end or not. Going to be a matter of a lap or two, so look for these drivers to try to start saving some fuel as we start clicking off the final few laps here. Now under 50 laps remaining in tonight's 150 scheduled in the official race distance for the Milwaukee 150, powered by Arcis. Big time shout out to Arcis Racing and everybody back at their headquarters. Also a big time shout out for Raceverse, as well as league's very own Matt Houston from Raceverse, stepping up, sponsoring the $100 prize pool for your top 5 in season number 3 here in Velocity Online Racing. So a big time shout out to both of those entities for everything that they have done for tonight's show here at the Milwaukee Mile for the Milwaukee 150. Nunez bringing his machine to pit road for what should be the final time here tonight. That's going to free up Shane Coogan to breathe a little bit easier. He now enjoys a 3.7 second advantage over Tyler Coogan, the rookie, sitting right there in that 4th spot. There you can see him piloting his 41 machine back across the stripe to begin lap number 108. Nick DeGroot not very far off. There you see that familiar yellow paint scheme piloted by DeGroot. He's going to make his way down the backstretch, try to close up the ground, try to make his way a little bit closer to a podium spot here tonight from the Milwaukee Mile. Field off of turn number 4. Looking at those drivers that have made those late pit stops, and it looks like Gavin Sanders now up to the 7th spot. He's got Isaac Morris, Alex Van de Sande right behind him. Gaps in between all of those drivers, respectively, what they were before the round of green flag pit stops. Luis Nunez making up some ground, though. He's able to take a spot away from Thomas Gessler as Gessler falls through the field back to the 11th spot, and now off of the lead lap. And oh my goodness, driver with some trouble. He's off of the raceway. Thomas Gessler has an issue, and that's going to bring us under caution once again here for the 5th time tonight. And there you see Gessler went around. Caution flag gonna fly. We'll take a look and see how Gessler got around. Oh, and the car just snapping loose on him. Looked like he tried to save it, then gassed it up to keep it out of the cars. Race officials deeming it's good enough to call the field to a crawl, so we will rejoin the race back at the front with your race leaders as they all begin the slow roll down pit road. And there you see, indeed, working out. The strategy working out for Dakota Dimage. He gets that caution flag he needed. Isaac Morris, Alex Van de Sande gonna stay out on track, and I can bet that Luis Gonzalez Nunez is gonna stay out on track as well. So with all that being said, race fans, we're gonna step away for a brief commercial break. We'll be back trackside for all your green flag action. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. And backtrack side as promised before the green flag drops. Field comes to a crawl back behind that Ford Mustang pace car for the 5th time here tonight. It will get ready to duck off as the field heads back into turn number 3, waiting to go back. Green flag racing after our latest caution. We'll get set to go back to green flag as your leader, Isaac Moore, staying out on the track under this latest caution, ready to fire things off, and pace car ducking off, ready to go back. Green flag racing this time by, and green flag flies as the field hits the gas, heads back into turn number 1. Dakota Damage right there, all over Van de Sant. Van de Sant struggling to get the power put down on those older tires. Van de Sant last to pit road on lap number 84. Field stacked up behind him, all last to pit road under that last caution on lap 111. Now side by side, Gavin Sanders looks to the inside of Damage. Damage gonna fall as he's almost 3 wide as they work their way through turn number 2. 3 wide. Houston didn't work at the top. Now DeGroot looks for a spot on the bottom. Sanders going to put himself back into a podium spot, but digging once again back to his inside. Dakota Damage trying to make that inside lane work. Your top 2 drivers scooting away from the field on those older tires. Isaac Morris and Alex Van de Sant running first and second. Three-car battle now. DeGroot, Sanders, Houston as they make their way off of turn number 4. Sanders now slotting into that 4th spot. He's looking to improve, looking to run down Dakota Damage, your highest running driver with the fresh tires, running into that 3rd spot, but the top 2 have stepped away just a little bit from the field. Will rejoin the battle at the front as it is getting hot and heavy. Tell you what, race fans, we'll go ahead and throw up some of your battle information as they run now nose to tail. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, all on track, all creeping up on each other. There you can see that battle for that top spot. Just a few tenths of a second separate Van de Sant from Morris and Damage from Van de Sant. We've seen the old tires work early in the run for Isaac Morris as well as Gavin Sanders. Will those older tires work here at the run to the end? Just 31 laps now remaining in tonight's Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis. Can Isaac Morris make those tires last? Can he make that run another 70 laps? Last time he was on pit road, 80 laps into the race, so he's went well past the halfway point on one set of tires here tonight. Isaac Morris looking to extend his run yet again. Alex Van de Sant sitting right there in 2nd spot, losing a little bit of pace, losing a little bit of ground. Now 4/10 of a second behind your race leader, Dakota Damage, starting to close in 6/10 back from Van de Sant, and he's going to be battling him here in the next, I would say, 5 to 10 laps. Gavin Sanders has got to pick up the pace. He has lost some ground, lost some time in that dirty air. Nick DeGroot staying right there with him as well. You can see that battle for that 3rd spot between Damage, Sanders, and DeGroot. DeGroot looks to the bottom, going around the back marker, and caution! Caution flag flies. Shane Coogan involved. Oh my goodness, let's look back here, see what happened to this 29 machine. There you see him sitting into that outside wall. We'll take a look now, see what happened on the replay. Oh, there you see the car just didn't turn on the corner exit. Hard impact with that outside wall. We'll take one more look at it from the cockpit, and there you can see just floating it out, and the car just stopped turning. Hard impact with that outside wall. That's going to end Coogan's day for sure. Always tough to have an accident. Always tough when it happens that late in the going. Shane Coogan with a good run now, being scored off of the lead lap back in the 12th position, and may very well just fall a little bit further through the field here tonight. Man, Milwaukee Mile has not been kind to a handful of drivers here tonight. We started tonight's race with 25 drivers on the starting grid. We have still got 13 drivers on track, 8 drivers still on the lead lap, so it has been a rough go for some of these Velocity Online Racing IndyCar drivers here tonight for the Milwaukee 150, presented to you by Arcis. Arcis Racing, a racing community you can find over there on Discord, mainly based over on Assetto Corsa. Very friendly, open-armed league and community. If you're just a casual racer or even just a rookie looking for some help, looking for some guidance, you can head on over there to Arcis Racing and they'll hook you up, give you a little bit of guidance. You can find them over there on Assetto Corsa, running multiple different series, multiple different styles. The Assetto Corsa formula as well as endurance, putting on multiple different special events. So big time group over there on Assetto Corsa, dipping their toe in the pool over here in the iRacing.com simulator, looking to bring a little bit more awareness to themselves and their group and what they do. Big time shout out for all of them over there for stepping up to the plate, sponsoring tonight's race, the Milwaukee 150, sponsored by Arcis. Ford Mustang pace car lights are off. Field will get single file and get ready to hit the gas once again under caution for the 6th time here tonight from the Milwaukee Mile. Velocity Online Racing Season number 3, round number 5 underway. If you haven't already, race fans, go ahead and throw these drivers a thumbs up. Click subscribe and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you that stop by. These drivers appreciate each and every one of you as well. Go ahead and give them a thumbs up to just show them you appreciate and like everything they do, everything they provide on the track. Some great racing action here tonight as Isaac Morris gets ready to hit the loud pedal. We'll fire things back off once again here tonight. On the gas and green flag flies. So once again here from Milwaukee, as your race leader gets off to a good start. Isaac Morris making those older tires work, but he's got Dakota DeMage with some fresh tires right there, making his way to the inside of Van de Sant. Gavin Sanders right there with those fresh tires as well. Van de Sant now falling victim to those fresh tires. Van de Sant gonna drop from that 2nd spot now to 3rd, all the way back to 4th, as Sanders looks to make a move on the inside of 1. Side by side through 1 and 2. Nick DeGroot now on the bottom. 3 wide. Drag race down the backstretch. Nick DeGroot gonna pull behind. He'll line up just behind Van de Sant as they enter turn number 3. My goodness, getting racy up here at the front. 2 and 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Gavin Sanders, Alex Van de Sant, Nick DeGroot battling for position on track. Battling for that last spot inside the podium, making their way now down the backstretch. Just 22 laps remain here tonight in the Milwaukee 150. Battle still raging on. 2 and 3 wide. Nick DeGroot looking for some clean air, looking for a way around. Sanders pushing the envelope. Is he gonna get the spot? Gonna work his way off of 2 down the backstretch? No, still side by side. Van de Sant holding him off with them older tires. Now a run from DeGroot on the bottom. 3 wide down the front stretch. DeGroot to the inside, gonna give way. Sanders gonna take that spot. Still battle with Van de Sant for that 3rd spot. Tyler Coogan right here in the mix. Dave Stedman starting to poke his head into this battle as well. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all lined up on track, all battling for a spot. Man, what a close battle right here. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all slotted nose to tail, just a few tenths separating each and every one of these drivers, while up at the front, making those old tires work, Isaac Morris continues to lead Dakota Dimage. About 31 lap difference on those tires, and Dimage cannot close the gap. He cannot get to the back end of Isaac Morris, just not able to get up on the gearbox and pressure Morris into a mistake. Van de Sande now pulling back around Sanders, looking to settle back down. We'll jump to the battle at the front of the field. There you can see it right there as Isaac Morris makes his way off of turn number 4. Here comes Dimage. As we watch this battle, back to this battle one more time. Nick DeGroot makes his way by Gavin Sanders, your pole sitter, early race leader, dominating early here tonight, leading over half of the laps in tonight's Milwaukee 150. Now stuck back in traffic, mired, not being able to make his way through the dirty air. Gavin Sanders losing some time. He's watching his chance at the race win walk away from him late in the going. Nick DeGroot now looking for a spot on Van de Sande. He'll look to the bottom in 3 and 4. Gets a good run through the center. DeGroot goes to the 3rd spot. Big run by Sanders. He's going to be all over Van de Sande once again. Down into turn 1. They'll pull even side by side through the center. Advantage goes to Sanders, but Van de Sande fighting back hard on that outside drag race down the backstretch. Sanders not able to take that spot just yet. Works his way through the center. Now finally making that pass. Put Sanders up into the 4th spot, but the damage may have already been done. Nick DeGroot has opened up an 0.8 of a second advantage over Sanders. Luis Gonzalez Nunez fighting for a spot inside the top 5 late in the going. Just 13 laps remaining here tonight as the leader makes his way back off of turn number 4 to take just 12 laps remaining here tonight in the Milwaukee 150, presented by Arcis. Van de Sande still trying to keep these fresh tires behind him. Nunez all over him, though. I think he's going to fall victim to that one here very shortly. We'll jump back as we do have a battle at the front. Here it is. Look at this lap traffic coming into play. Isaac Morris ducks to the inside. Dimage right there. Nick DeGroot closing in as well. We're going to have ourselves a 3-car battle once again for the race lead. 1 driver on old tires, 2 drivers on freshies. What will Morris do? He's got Dimage breathing down his neck. He's also got Nick DeGroot right there as well. Gotta be careful, gotta tiptoe, but gotta bring it home as well. Morris continues the lead by 0.2 of a second out of turn number 2. Dimage looks to the inside, blocking DeGroot. DeGroot with a run. Big block by Dimage on Nick DeGroot. Now making their way by the lap marker. Concha gonna drop through the field here. Your race leader has a little bit of an advantage in Dakota Dimage, able to take that top spot away. Isaac Morris now back in second, and he's got Nick DeGroot all over him. Did Dimage make the move of the race? Coming to take 9 laps to go. At the front of the field now, leading tonight's race, Dakota Dimage with the big run to that top spot. There you see Nick DeGroot trying to make that outside lane work. Gavin Sanders coming back into play. Battle for the 2nd spot on the raceway. Nick DeGroot, Isaac Morris, and Gavin Sanders all nose to tail, all within a few tenths of each other. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to have anything for the man at the front of the field right now. Dakota Dimage walking away with the win right now. Walking away from the field, I should say. 0.7 of a second separate Dimage from DeGroot. DeGroot beginning to walk away from Morris. Morris in a close battle here with Gavin Sanders. Alex Van de Sande not too far off, but he's still having to deal with Luis Gonzalez Nunez. As your third and fourth place drivers make their way around one of the back markers, Isaac Morris continues to try to keep that third spot away from Gavin Sanders. And Morris staying out on those old tires, and it looks like that strategy just not paying off. Now going to duck to the inside. Make Sanders go the long way around. That is some smart racing last time by. High five for your race leader, Dakota DiMaggio. Flagman giving him the 5 to go symbol here from the Milwaukee Mile. Close right here between Sanders and Morris. Sanders and Morris all over each other. That last time by Morris still right there hounding Sanders, but not able to do anything with him. There you can see the battle for that third spot between Morris and Sanders, and now Morris gonna take that spot away. A little bit of smoke out in front of him, but Sanders, I apologize, I thought that was Sanders on the bottom. Morris still keeping that third spot, forcing Gavin Sanders to that outside, that long way around, and you have got to keep the momentum up. You have got to keep the power down. Slowly but surely starting to prevail now for Gavin Sanders, and now just like that, you can see him pull even once again. 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks for your race leader at the front of the field, Dakota DiMaggio. We'll jump back up here with DiMaggio as he's got just these final 2 laps remaining, and look at this. It's a battle for the race lead. Nick DeGroot has closed in under a half a second. Separate your top 2 drivers making their way off of turn number 4. White flag in the air. Final lap here tonight from the Milwaukee Mile and the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis. Off of turn number 2 down the backstretch for the final time into turn 3. Nick DeGroot close, but not gonna get there. Dakota DiMaggio gonna walk away with the race win here tonight from the Milwaukee Mile, your race winner. Big move at the end of tonight's race. There you can see him right there, man on screen. The 82 of Dakota DiMaggio walking away with the race win here tonight from the Milwaukee Mile in the Milwaukee 150. My, oh my, what a way to finish the race. What a run there at the end for the driver in that 82 machine. Big time shout out and tip of the cap to DiMaggio walking away with the race win. And with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break, get things set up for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Back live trackside here at the Milwaukee Mile at the completion of the Milwaukee 150, presented to you by Arcis, catching up with our race winner here tonight. Dakota DiMaggio is Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, hear you loud and clear.
Hey, my man. How you doing? How you feeling after a great run here, walking away with the victory here tonight? Finally able to put that thing in victory lane for the second time this season.
First time, second podium, first win this season. I'm still trying to calm down, man. I'm just, oh my gosh, that was so tense. Those last 10 laps or so, when I got past Isaac, I started losing feeling in my arms. I was just that nervous.
And yes, indeed, I do stand corrected. Looked at the wrong stat over there, but. Anyway, still a great chance to talk to me. So, I mean, hey, what a wonderful day, right?
Oh my gosh, great day. Great day, great night. Oh, I didn't think I had a chance in this race. Flat track's always kind of been my crutch, and things just, the way they went, they worked out. I don't think I made any friends on the track tonight, but yeah, I'll take it. It's worth it.
Well, I was going to ask about the tire strategy and the difference in tires. We seen earlier drivers able to stay out on some older tires and make it work for themselves. You pitted a little bit earlier, back around lap 55 or so, inherited the race lead through some green flag pit stops. A caution came out. You were able to keep that track position. But then you came to pit road late in the race for some fresh tires back under, I believe that was our last caution on lap 111 for those fresh tires. What made you decide that, these tires, they're going to make the difference and I need them?
I was more playing the fuel game. Tire drop-off was kind of minimal. On old tires, you can stay ahead, but if you got passed on old tires, you couldn't catch back up. So I was more or less playing the fuel game, just trying to get a good finish. And next thing you know, I'm the top car with fresh tires, and I'm catching up to Alex, and I'm catching up to Isaac, and that what happened. Here I am.
Yes, you are. You are in victory lane in the Milwaukee 150, presented to you by Arcis. Man, walk us through looking forward to next week. We head back to a road course for the Canadian Grand Prix at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. What's your thoughts going to that track, back to a road course, our second time visiting a road course this season?
Yeah, there's some good road racers in this league. It's pretty competitive. I know Isaac is going to be very strong there, and I'm hoping that he's able to get the win next time out. My goal is to just, get a solid finish, hopefully get a top 5 again, but I don't think I'll be challenging for a podium, but I'll do what I can do.
All right, Dakota. Well, man, been one heck of a night for you here, and I know you're ready to celebrate the night away. So before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 82 machine?
Yes, thank you to Lucas and Alyssa. I know they're watching right now. Shout out to Matt on Team Race First, great team motor. Isaac Morris, partner on Apex, Sage Coaching. I owe him big one. I told him I'd give him a couple of GME shares for having me hold off the Groot there. And shout out to Sunset Arctic Games. That's my company. Follow me on Twitter at Sunset Arctic. Check out Echo Blade and Voltic Pistol on Steam. And yeah, that's it from me.
All right, Dakota, man. Well, we'll look forward to catching up with you next Saturday night at the Canadian Grand Prix.
Yes, sounds good.
There you have it. Final words from your race winner here tonight in the Milwaukee 150, presented to you by Arcis. Man, oh man, what a race it was, race fans. Oh my goodness, some very early rash of cautions here brought the field to a slow, brought the field to a crawl multiple times, but then we had ourselves a very long green flag run, very long green flag pit cycle to unfold. Mixed up the field a little bit. Oh, and then finally coming back around, it fell back in the hands of Dakota DiMaggio, and looks like producers hitting the button, so you know what that means, race fans. Time to run down your unofficial race results for round number 5 here in season number 3 for the Velocity Online Racing. And the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis, walking away in victory lane. Driver in that 82 machine, Dakota Damage. Big run to the end, not quite able to get there. Needed a few more laps. The 89 of Nick DeGroot walking away with a great podium finish here in the second spot. And rounding out your top three tonight, the 90, your pole sitter, Gavin Sanders. Alex Van de Sand gonna walk away in the fourth spot. Tyler Coogan home in fifth. Sixth place goes to Dave Stedman, while Matt Houston slots home in the seventh spot. Last car on the lead lap, Isaac Morris going to fall off of the lead lap. Gonna score the first car. Scored the first car off of the lead lap. Back in the eighth spot, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, after qualifying outside pole position, falls through the race here tonight, back to that ninth spot. Rounding out your top 10 here tonight, the 18 of Thomas Gessler. Oscar Fredrickson gonna walk away in 11th. 12th place goes to Gary Gotzo. Tony Patty with a solid run after making his way in the field, fighting through as one of those special six. He slots home in the 13th spot. Anthony Concha gonna walk away in 14th. John Christensen rounds out your top 15. 16th place goes to Shane Coogan, while Julian Altina, caught up in an early incident, walks away from the track in the 17th spot. 128 laps down. Christian Alesio caught up in a very early incident, back at about lap number 7. Alesio gonna slot home in the 18th spot. 19th goes to Robert Sadler. Christopher Kresge gonna finish in at 20th. 21st goes to Michael Jeffries. Greg Forsythe slotting home in the 22nd spot. Victor Santos walking away from the track in 23rd. 24th goes to another one of those special six drivers inside of that 59 Dallara IR18, Lewis Woodall. 25th spot goes to the 11 of Oscar Gonzalez. Gonzalez, after an early incident, Gonzalez out of the race on lap number 1, being scored 149 laps off of the race leader, back in the 25th spot. And that will do it for tonight's finishing order from the Milwaukee Mile in race number 5 of season number 3 for the Velocity Online Racing League. Man, oh man, I tell you, it's been one heck of a night, that is for sure. Gotta give a big shout out to Arcis Racing for sponsoring tonight's Milwaukee 150. Arcis Racing over there on Discord. You can find a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that. Head on over there. Give those boys a shout. Awesome community and group of guys over there on the Assetto Corsa platform, doing multiple different leagues, multiple different series of driving. They've got the Formula style. They've also got endurance. They put on a ton of different special events as well. So if you're looking for someone to help you out along the way on Assetto Corsa, find yourself over there with Arcis Racing. Also, another big time shout out to Raceverse sponsoring this season's $100 prize pool for the season's top 5 finishers in the point standings. Whew, man, what a race it was here tonight for round number 5. Just 4 more races remaining here in Velocity Online Racing season number 3. We head to Canada next Saturday night. We also got Pocono Gateway in Michigan still left to go, non necessarily in that order, race fans. And if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by here. Man, I tell you what, it has been one heck of a night, one heck of a race. There you can see some of the information for Arcis right there on your screen. You can also find some more down in the description. So with all that being said, race fans, stay safe, stay loved until we see you again. We'll meet you in Turn 3.